everybody, and welcome to this special on Mars going out of bounds. So I'm going to talk about it from all angles, and remember, all my astrology is based on Vedic constellational astrology, and all times are GMT times. Please like or subscribe, and yeah. So Mars is in Gemini until the 26th of August. Then Mars enters out of bounds on the 6th of September at 5:30 a.m. while still in Gemini, and it's going to stay there until the 18th of September when Mars comes back in bounds. So yeah, in astrology, being out of bounds means that a planet goes beyond its typical declination, so beyond 23.5, and this can just make the energy of the planets be more unpredictable and more intense. So in astrology, Mars symbolizes energy, motivation, and all our drives, our creative drives, our action drives, our, exercise drives, our sexual drives, and aggression and determination. And it's associated with how we assert ourselves, how we go after our goals, and how we sort of handle conflicts. So when Mars is out of bounds, it takes on a dynamic and unconventional sort of motivational creation sort of energy. So holistically, it's a time when we can assert ourselves in unpredictable ways, and our motivational drives may be unpredictable as well, as we feel kind of compelled, pushed to break free. We're I'm tired of this crap, I'm just breaking free from routine and restrictions, and we just want to be more adventurous, but we just need to watch out for being too impulsive and doing things like quitting our jobs or spending all of our rent money on one item of clothing and stuff like that. So practically, Mars out of bounds allows us to take more risks, go after new opportunities that are, usually outside of our comfort zone. So, it's really good for pushing boundaries, challenging ourselves to achieve our personal goals or our professional sort of growth. Political leaders can take more sort of bold and unconventional actions that sort of go against norms and traditions. Negatively, this can lead to power struggles, conflicts. So, for example, a political leader may decide to start, initiate, or restart controversial policies, or engage in aggressive sort of diplomatic strategies. On the esoteric, spiritual sort of level, it can bring intense energy that we should channel towards deep inner transformation or a spiritual awakening, starting or continuing shadow and inner work, really getting to the bottom, being more passionate, and we may explore our desires on a more deeper level, and we may seek to connect more with our inner fire, our inner motivation, our dreams and purpose. It invites us to embrace our inner warrior and go to the depths of our psyche, and to confront and overcome any obstacles that we sort of find there. It's a time for courage, taking decisive action, and aligning with our higher selves to sort of achieve spiritual evolution. From a personal and psychological level, it can just sort of make us more restless, as I said, as we want more freedom and independence. We may take more impulsive risks, and like I said, some of you may suddenly quit your job, end a relationship, start a passion project, or make spontaneous travel plans. On the social collective level, it can bring more conflict to our relationships. I'm going to talk about how it affects all types of relationships a bit later on, but yeah, it can just make us all kind of full of tension. People may feel more confrontational and aggressive, and this can lead to disagreements and power struggles. There could be a rise in protests or heated debates within our communities due to the increase in energy levels and assertiveness. Symbolically, when Mars goes out of bounds, it just symbolises breaking free from constraints or that's holding us back, especially our toxic thought patterns, and our self-destructive behaviours. It wants us to challenge our existing routines, and wants us to sort of do our own thing instead of following others. artist can create rebellious or unconventional pieces, or if you're a poet or any kind of creator, you may be like, oh, forget it, I'm not following the technicalities of music, I'm going to come up with my own sort of like way of expressing myself through music. Emotionally it can make us feel more intense, we may feel more angry, we may feel more desire and motivation. Motivation is good, this is good for motivation. I say use this energy, especially to do the things that you've been putting off, going after your goals with kind of unwavering, being firm, being determined. And we can just kind of like also feel ourselves like standing up for others, especially those who are vulnerable, and especially standing up for ourselves if other people overstep our boundaries. So this is just a really nice energy to sort of like stand your ground and be true to yourself. So now I'm going to talk about the positive and negatives and the best use. So positively, it wants us to be flexible in the way that we approach challenges and our relationships and our routines. It wants us to be more innovative and have more of a sense of adventure, try new things, explore unconventional ideas, think outside of the box, coming up with new solutions or being open to new solutions for old problems, and just to, initiate changes, stepping out of your fear and daring to be who you really are. But negatively, it can make us more restless, more reckless and impulsive. We may find ourselves kind of scattered in our energy, finding it challenging to focus on one task for extended period of time. So it's essential to be mindful of rushing into decisions without considering the consequences carefully. The best way to use this energy is to, be curious, be adaptable, maintain a sense of self-discipline and be more strategic in your thinking. So some of you may decide to use this time to experiment with different approaches to solving the problems in your work or personal life. As I said, just allowing yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities, being open, doing your research, being focused, keeping a clear goal in your mind and keeping a cool, level head. And because we can be sort of like firm in our convictions, it's important to balance, the need to be spontaneous, to be trying new things with, self-discipline and control. And this is the best use of this energy, because if we just be impulsive, we can waste this energy, So it's very important to try, even though this can make us behave erratic, to try and just, chill out a bit and to think before you rush ahead, but also, be open to taking those risks and be grounded in your actions, but also, just be open-minded right now as well. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Mars makes when it goes out of bounds, when it's in Gemini this year. So the first aspect is Mars making a square to Neptune, and this is separating at a 155 orb. So it just adds to us, helps us to be more creative and be more sort of like open to practicing meditation and other spiritual techniques. It can make us more intuitive, because Mars rules the gut, and it's said that intuitive feelings come from their gut feelings, We may have more empathy for ourselves and others as well, and we can just feel inspired to take action on our dreams and just be more compassionate in our approach to how we do things in general. But negatively, Mars is square to Neptune can make us confused and deceptive in our actions and how we treat others right now as well, and we can manipulate and escape, because Neptune energy, especially because it's in the square here, can always make us run away from ourselves. So we just need to watch out for that. We just have to watch out for our energy levels becoming scattered, and this can make it challenging to focus on tasks. So just try and maintain balance energy levels, even though this energy can give us lots of energy. Mars out of bounds, it's wild, it's unpredictable. It's like, yes, I can do all the physical things, I can make love, I can do my routine, I can have exercise, I can burn the candle at both ends, to just try and moderate that energy, because you don't want to burn out and waste it. So Mars also makes a quincunx to Pluto. So this can add to our determination and drive, allows us to transform ourselves, and we can just feel more motivated to break through and free from obstacles and make significant sort of like changes in our life. And it can just make us feel more empowered, but we just need to watch out for power struggles, control and jealousy, because Mars's quincunx to Pluto can make us obsessive and jealous and vengeful. If someone does something wrong to us right now, we can be like, bring it on, we can get all aggressive. So just try and chill out a bit. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about what a T-square is in astrology and the positives and negatives of a transiting T-square. So a T-square in astrology is when 3 or more planets, normally some people count points, I will only count a point such as the moon's north node if it was like conjunct a planet like Venus at the same degree, something like that in a T-square. I wouldn't necessarily include it on its own. So yeah, a T-square is when 3 or more planets form a right-angled triangle in the transit chart, and this configuration involves 2 planets being involved each other, creating tension, and a third planet squares both of the opposing planets, and this is why it's called like a T-square, because it looks like a T. And the positives of a transiting T-square include increased motivation for growth and change, opportunities for self-awareness and transformation, and the potential for breakthroughs in difficult situations. It can act as a catalyst for personal development and push us outside of our comfort zones. Negatively, we can struggle with decision making due to the conflicting energies. We can experience a heightened emotional intensity, leading to stress or anxiety and challenges in communication and our relationships. And it can also kind of bring internal conflict to some of us as well, because of the external obstacles that come, or the internal thoughts of unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma that can come up. And dealing with these issues internally or externally that come up can require patience and resilience to overcome. So yeah, so when Mars goes out of bounds this year, it is making a T-square. So we've got Saturn in Aquarius, Jupiter in Taurus, and we've got the Sun in Leo and the Ascendant in Leo. So it's a nice fixed energy, sort of like T-square. Yeah, I was like struggling for a word. So yeah, Saturn in Aquarius brings a sense of restriction and discipline. It wants us to be more methodical with our thinking and how we go about doing the things. So this is really good, because as I said earlier, this energy can make us wild and impulsive, but Saturn involved in these T-squares bringing that grounded that we need and allowing us to focus on the long-term consequences of our words and actions, which is what we need as well. Jupiter in Taurus kind of increases the need for stability and growth, especially in a practical way, especially when it comes to our finances and our material possessions. So Mars, as I said, as a consequence, because it can make us impulsive, can make us overspend and mess up our finances, but Jupiter in Taurus is bringing that grounding to allow us to think before we make reckless sort of like decisions, like spending all of our rent. And the Sun and the Ascendant in Leo encourages us to shine brightly, be more creative and take charge of our life. So yeah, this T-square adds to the tensions and challenges that can come up as well, but it allows us to embrace our inner strength and showcase our talents and take bold steps towards achieving our goals, and just making sure, because the push and pull effect between the Sun and the Ascendant in Leo and Saturn and Jupiter in Taurus wanting us to be more stable and grounded and think. Saturn in Aquarius is an air sign, think, and Jupiter in Taurus is an earth sign, to be practical, to be stable, going against Leo, which is a fixed fire sign, but fire energy, fire, once we light it and uncontrolled, fire can spread, and especially when it's in the forest and stuff, it can take months to put out weeds. So we have to kind of make sure we are patient with ourselves and others at this time, and to be determined to overcome any obstacles that come up as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons and the type of past life sort of like memories that can come up when Mars is out of bounds. So Mars represents our energy and passion and how we put ourselves out there in the world, and on the karmic level we may find ourselves facing situations that mirror unresolved issues from our past lives. So where we may have had past lives where we were too aggressive, or we didn't use our aggressive energy sort of like correctly, or we avoided conflict or caused conflict, or we pent up our emotions, and we didn't release them, we hid away from them. And this wants us to address our aggression, our conflict, issues of conflict, if we people please and stuff like that, and to sort of like deal with our emotions head on rather than running away from them. So we can find ourselves sort of like confronted with issues that demand our attention and needs us to kind of like navigate our own and other people's emotions and people pleasing ways and aggression. In terms of past life memories, unresolved issues around the ways we don't assert ourselves, or why we don't stick up for other people, or why we take advantage of those who are vulnerable as well. We can notice a pattern of explosive anger, or excessive need for power, or struggles with asserting our own independence on our mind. So yeah, the karmic meanings and lessons are wanting us to sort of like channel our energy, so our motivational drives, our physical drives, our exercise drive, our sexual drives, and use them more productively, so that they enhance our lives and help us to focus on our life goals rather than distract us from reaching our life goals. And it wants us to overcome destructive behavioural patterns and just to think constructively. And if you're open to, stop and think before you react and say things, and sort of like just reflect on your journey, on your life goals. Are your daily habits, are your daily thoughts in line with you reaching your goals? A lot of the time we say that we want the best life, but we do self-destructive behaviours and allow toxic thoughts to run around our minds all day. So maybe seeking out, self-help, maybe listening to some motivational speakers, find the right ones for you. I like James Allen. A lot of these older texts, I will say, they kind of talk from a male perspective, but if we can get past that, there's a lot of wisdom in the teachings of, say, Manly P. Hall, Dorothea Brand, Louise Hay and stuff like that, Bruce Lipton, Wayne Dyer, Dada Yankee, so just looking out for positive speakers, inspirational people that can help you towards your healing and growth. Also, some of you may have dreams where you may recall being warriors or fighters in your past lives, and this can lead to a strong sense of competitiveness and a desire for victory in your current life, or you may channel your inner warrior, as I said earlier. Others of you may remember lifetimes or instances in this life where you misuse your power or authority. So, just looking at any imbalances, do you let people walk over you? Do you walk over other people? Why do you do that? Often, many times, we can numb ourselves and become cold because many people took advantage of our good nature. So we become cold. So just getting down to the root of your sort of like power dominance or power imbalance issues, because it can go two ways. If when you was younger at stage of your life, people sort of like abused you or made you feel less than, then you can become timid, overly timid, and not use your power. So this energy just reminds us to use our power on the karmic level and to deal with the issues that stop us from using our power, or the issues that cause us to abuse our power as well, or looking at the ways of why you self-sabotage, why you don't use your motivational energy, or why you may use it to focus on one area of your life, like you may just use it to exercise 24/7, but this can mean that you don't have healthy relationships, or it's placing a strain on your relationships. So just get into the root causes of any imbalances in your life right now, and by doing so you can break free from the occurring patterns and move towards a more balanced approach to your life and more spiritual enlightenment and growth. And it's important to have compassion right now for yourself if you uncover any difficult things, and just have a willingness to confront the underlying issues that any past life memories or dreams or nightmares or any current life situations bring to your attention on the things that you need to change or address. And by addressing and recognizing your unresolved emotions, your psychological wounds and unresolved trauma, you can release yourself from the cycle of negative patterns and transform them into opportunities for healing and change. And just remember that each challenge that comes our way presents a chance for growth and evolution on your soul's journey towards a higher level of consciousness. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how family, friendship, co-worker relationships and committed and hookup and single and self-partnered relationships are affected when Mars is out of bounds. So in terms of family relationships, we can sort of have more tensions in them because of our aggression and impulsiveness, but positively we can have a renewed sense of passion and energy within our family dynamics, and this can lead to more productive discussions and activities, game nights, making dinner, going out for dinner, ordering in dinner, whatever. But negatively, because conflicts can come up, because our assertiveness can turn into aggressiveness, we can make peace and then someone can say a silly comment and then everything can go to crap again. So just be mindful of how you come across. As I said, stand up for yourself, but respect other people's right to do so as well. Try and listen to each other, create an active, safe listening space in family dynamics. Try to meet everyone's needs, because sometimes we have to, make compromises in relationships, especially if we want them to be healthy, In terms of friendships, it can make us more excited and spontaneous in them. We can want to do more fun things together in our friendship groups, try new activities and deepen our bonds through said adventures and experiences. But negatively, because of ego clashes, because everybody can be like, I am the boss right now, or acting a bit bougie and all of that, or just, it's my way or the highway, and egos can clash because of impulsive decisions and reactions and actions as well. So just make sure you consider the other people's feelings in your friendships, and just try again to compromise. In terms of co-worker relationships, it can make us feel more motivated and have more of a drive for success and meeting individual and team targets as well. So it's great for teamwork, but negatively, power struggles can get in the way, and arguments can come up over, I'm the boss, no, I'm the boss, no, I am actually your boss, so you have to obey my authority kind of scenario for these who are kind of like friends with your boss, and then your boss trumps you and be like, actually, you have to listen to me. So just try and respect authority, but assert yourself as well. And if you are the boss, try and be gentle with your co-workers right now, or your employees as well. And we just have to watch out for intense competition, because people can just be like, I want their promotion, or I want that bonus, or I don't care about your needs, and this can add to the strain and conflict and tension and aggression in the workplace. So it's best to try and go for that promotion without stepping on other people's toes, or just try and be humble about it. If you win a bonus over your other teammates and stuff, because showing off and being bossy right now can cause trouble. So in terms of committed relationships, it can bring more passion and sparks to our lovers, in our love making as well. We can be more adventurous in and out of the bedroom and spontaneous and open to creating more memorable experiences together. So great for kind of having date nights that you've something you've never done before. If you always stay in, if you always go bowling or the cinema, go for a walk, watch the stars, write some poetry. This is the time to do something out of bounds, try different positions, try, a bit of foreplay or a bit of dinner before going straight into the love making and all of that. But negatively, disagreements can get out of hand and heated, and impulsive actions and words can cause misunderstandings and temporary separations at the worst case scenario end, And singles, we can feel more confident and assertive, and we can, appear more attractive to others if we're confident within ourselves, going after what we want, and we can just be more proactive, downloading dating apps, even if we remove them several times. I've been there, I understand, but I believe, if we keep on searching or being open, it's when we lock ourselves away. Sometimes, we need to lock ourselves away to do the shadow and inner work, and especially if we keep on having toxic relationships, to get to the bottom of the ways that we are toxic in the relationships, or why we keep on, accepting toxic people into our lives, So, this energy can make us more passionate, and this can lead to passionate encounters, and hookups and stuff. But negatively, coming on too strong, putting the cart before the horse, so to speak, and being too eager, even though I do believe in a proactive approach, but balance it with being a bit chilled out, because if we come on too strong, people can see us as aggressive, and this may, put potential partners off, So be confident and assertive, but make sure you don't be too scary, In terms of those who are self-partnered, this is a great energy to prioritise your self-love and personal growth, and to, reflect on, your self-partnership. If you are single in your self-partnership, maybe putting yourself out there as well. It can make you feel more assertive and also independent, and, wanting to go after your goals and dreams. It can lead to breakthroughs in self-awareness and empowerment as boundaries are pushed, and you're just, open to exploring new ways of doing things and new paths, or revisiting old paths, because sometimes it's about timing. But negatively, because internal conflicts can come up, it can be hard for you to navigate, understand your own desire and ambitions right now, and this can lead to uncertainty and self-doubt. So it's just important to give yourself the time, do your research, and to just make a strategic plan, and engage in some self-care, and try not to be too overwhelmed. And if you feel overwhelmed, do some self-care techniques that can help you, just find that internal balance again. So now I'm going to talk about how Mars out of bounds can affect our career, our personal, spiritual, educational and self-partner development. So in terms of career, it can allow us to make quick decisions and assert ourselves more confidently at work and take bold initiatives. It can make us feel inspired to pitch a new project or take a leadership role. Negatively, we can neglect our responsibilities in the workplace, especially in teamwork. Our teamwork partners may not hit their targets, so they may put the pressure on you, not pull their weight, not do their share. Or we can just become too focused on our own goals and ambitions, forgetting, the team that we're in, and this can cause tension with our colleagues. So prioritise your own goals and ambitions, but make sure you meet your obligations as well, to avoid sort of like power struggles and office politics and all of that. So in terms of personal development, it can push us past our comfort zone, and we may find ourselves more willing to take risks, as I said earlier, confront challenges head on and embrace change. Some of you may decide to travel solo, move out of like your parents' home, or end a relationship, or start a side hustle. And remember, it's never too late. Even if there's a million other people doing what you want to do, if you try, first of all, research and keep on trying. Consistency, a lot of the time you can, give up. So, this energy is allowing you to, push yourself out of your comfort zone and to start new things, and, to challenge yourself, and to just be open to newness. But negatively, it can make us reckless in our decision making, as I said, because we can be more impulsive, and this can lead to hasty sort of like actions and decisions that don't align with your long-term personal development goals. So it's very important that you don't let short-term pleasure, short-term gratification get in the way of your longer lifelong goals, or, your monthly goal of being able to pay your rent. As I said, don't waste all your money on one item when you need it to sort of like spread across 10 to 15 items, So yeah, make sure you don't take unnecessary risks, overspend or be too impulsive, as this can just lead to inattention, as you may love it in a moment. Yeah, I've got this new thing, but the day after you're like, oh, we're going to pay my rent sort of thing. So, balance is key. In terms of spiritual development, it wants us to be more determined in our spiritual practices, have more passion. We can feel more intense in our meditation sessions. It wants us to seek out new spiritual teachings that resonate with us. But negatively, in terms of spiritual development, we can become more impatient or aggressive as we, in our approach to seeking out enlightenment, and we can feel frustrated with our progress on our spiritual journey. That can lead to a sense of restlessness. And in terms of educational development, it can, just make us have more of a sense of drive and motivation, and we can just feel more inclined to go after our sort of like, educational goals, and be open to challenging subjects or research ideas, getting ourselves out of our educational or learning zone. It wants us to push our boundaries, start new projects, restart old projects, go deeper on the understanding on what you're studying, because a lot of the time we can stay on the surface and there's always something to learn. Looking outside of your academic or your research area as well to get a new perspective is a good use of this energy. But negatively, it can make us make impulsive decisions when it comes to our studies, wanting to take on too much at once, just consuming ideas and content and research, and neglecting the important aspects of our education. So yeah, as I said, explore beyond the surface, the base, but we have to learn the basics and memorize them, internalize them, so we can kind of think outside of the box and sort of thing. So yeah, explore new ideas, but also make sure that the basics as well. In terms of self-partner development, it wants us to sort of like focus on exploring the relationship with yourself, take the initiative in setting up personal goals or rethinking, changing your personal goals, making sure that they're still in alignment with what you want, develop more self-discipline and go after your self-improvement plans with passion and open-mindedness and cheerfulness, But negatively, it can sort of like make us too self-critical on ourselves and impatient in terms of, waiting for what we want to manifest. Because sometimes we can be working hard day in, day out, and we can be like, oh, when is things going to manifest? But, just keep on being consistent, making sure that you are doing the right things, but also being gentle with yourself. And, success and stuff takes time, even though it looks like it comes overnight. So, it wants us to empower ourselves on the self-partner level rather than falling into self-destructive behavioural thought patterns. So yeah. So for creatives, it's a great time to explore new artistic or creative techniques and mediums. If you always work with clay, maybe working with paints, if you always write poetry and it's free form, maybe learning to write Shakespearean sonnets, that sort of thing. Maybe, taking a new workshop or online course, reading a new book, something like that. Also, working with other creatives, collaborating can also bring yield, exciting results. Professionals should use this time to focus on ambitious career goals, upgrading your skills, going after that promotion, but being humble with it as well, taking on leadership roles, It's a great energy to assert yourself in the workplace, pitch, innovative ideas to those in authority, to you team leader or your co-workers, and to seek out new challenges that align with your career aspirations, your career goals. Attend networking events and professional development seminars. This can be really a good use of this energy for professionals. Entrepreneurs should launch new business ventures or relaunch existing ones, or offer new products or services as well, or just refine your business strategies and seek investment opportunities and explore untapped, niche markets and stuff. Maybe, do dynamic marketing campaigns or collaborations with other entrepreneurs, and this can, bring more benefits, because sometimes we're like, we shouldn't work with others because then, it's going to take away from my abundance. But sometimes working with others, especially in the different aspects of your own personality, can bring great abundance. So alternative healers can use this time to focus on exploring unconventional healing techniques and deepening their knowledge of their existing practices, sort of like using Margie's energy in their healing sessions. So, just being more, assertive with your energy work, or in the way you sort of like give your product offering to your clients, but as well as, make sure you respect their boundaries. That's what I'm trying to say. Experiment with new healing tools or techniques, and doing this can bring breakthroughs in your own personal healing or in your clients' healing and growth as well. Lovers should use this energy to be more intense and passionate, try new things, be adventurous, deepen your emotional, psychological and spiritual connection, your bond, explore new ways of expressing your physical intimacy, and spice up routines, with adventurous activities, and be more open in your communication, bring more mutual respect and understanding and vulnerability into your relationship as well. For those who are single and self-partnered, it's good to focus on your personal growth, doing things that boost your confidence and independence, making sure that you focus on self-care and attend workshops, learn a new hobby or skill, maybe go to a retreat for self-improvement, or create one in your own home, watching lots of online videos or podcasts and stuff, like, do your own little mini day or weekend retreat, something like that. Maybe, attending online courses where you can meet new people, real life social events where you can network as well, with others that have similar interests or to you, or you may decide to try something new. You may always have the curiosity about, I wonder what crystals, how they really work, or I wonder if what skydiving is, something like that. Just try new things, and it's just a nice empowering energy for you to set personal goals, define your boundaries, and just nurture a stronger sense of self-love and authenticity. So that's the end of this special Mars Out of Bounds, the definitive guide on what to do, how it affects all areas of our life. If you like my content, please subscribe, because I, do weekly videos, and I'm about to start, the interpretations of natal planets as well. So I've got a lot of good stuff coming, to wherever you're listening to me at. So that's the end of this special Mars entering Out of Bounds. Take care and see you next time.